Hey everyone, I'm Ronan, and that's Wadsworth, and welcome to Now Z Here, weekly transition babble blog. Let's get right into it this week. The United States of America is in an election year. I know it, you know it, your Facebook friends know it, your Twitter friends know it, your racist aunt knows it. All those people you have unfollowed for their vehement and unwavering holding to points of view that you don't agree with, they know it. And along with all the general disagreements and discussions about policy or which candidate we should be backing, there's a particular refrain that pops up every big election year. Vote. Always vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Now, among my particular circles in social media, this refrain has taken on a different sort of timbre this year, and that is, please vote. Please vote because we fear for our lives and the lives of our loved ones. However, there is another point of view that I get to see thanks to the kinds of people that I know, and those are the people who will not vote. The exact people that the vote people are trying to reach. The kind of people that message is targeting. The general stereotype of people who choose not to vote is that they are apathetic. This may be the case for a number of people, but thanks to being exposed to some of the types of people who choose not to vote, I have found that that is not always the case. The fact is, our election process can be very kindly described as imperfect. I mean, think about what just happened in Arizona during the primary elections there. There were people standing in 6-hour lines just to cast a ballot. Sometimes they would get to the end of those lines, actually get into their polling place, and found they had been registered under the wrong party, or the polling station had run out of ballots for their party. I live in Cook County, Illinois. On our primary day, I went before work, and it took me 5 minutes, in and out, snap. It's not that simple for everyone, and it never is. There are laws in place that actively make it more difficult for certain demographics of people to vote. And even when it is legal for, say, an employee to take time out of their workday to go to their polling place, their employer isn't always going to be aware of that, may not be willing to follow that law, and may punish the employee if they try to assert their rights. There is a pattern of disenfranchisement, and everyone's going to have a different reaction to being asked to take part in that, and I'm describing it kindly here, imperfect system. And so, at the very least, the idea of if you don't vote, you can't complain is, in my view, at best, a vast oversimplification, and in some cases, an expression of short-sighted privilege. Now, what about the people who technically could vote, who aren't necessarily disenfranchised in those legal ways, but who still choose not to? A number of the people I know who choose not to vote are the types of people who, while they're not necessarily disenfranchised in legal ways, they still are very much in social ways. We're talking gender and sexual minorities for the most part. These are, first of all, people who generally have to spend a lot of mental and emotional energy just getting by in their daily lives. And they're living inside a system and a society that at times seems actively intent on making their lives more difficult. Just because we have gay marriage laws doesn't mean that's not true anymore. Look at what's happening in North Carolina. Look at what's happening in Illinois. I'm still talking about the bathroom bills. I haven't forgotten. And when they're faced then with a two-party system and a state of mind that asks them to choose between the lesser of two evils, and you'd better vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. I mean, just what a dreary situation that is. How are you supposed to, in that situation, feel like you're fighting some sort of good fight? How are you supposed to get excited about voting? If you feel like one side is actively out to screw you, and the other one isn't doing enough, it's a valid choice, and it's one that not everyone may agree with. But it's a choice to be made. Now, personally, I am in the camp that you should try to vote. I think voting is the very least that a person can do. And you know what? Many people who don't vote, many people who make that choice not to do the least they can do way more than that. They're the ones out there actively advocating for change. And voting is not the only way that change gets made in this country or any other country. So, if the question is, should I vote? My answer is yes, if you can. Whether that means being able to legally or being able to stomach the choice. But whether or not you do, don't let that be the end of it. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe to see what's coming up next. I'll see you next time. Always be changing.